Portions of the following program may have been pre-recorded.
The following program's views, claims, or ideas may not reflect those of WSRR Radio or StylesRebelRadio.com.
And now, we take you behind enemy lines with Lucas DeRazio and Dom Ferro on WSRR Radio.
All Browns fans will go to heaven where football season's never ending. The leaves have changed, smell it in the air. Where every morning is a Sunday morning, the grill is firing and the drinks are pouring. All Browns fans will go to heaven and our Modell can go to hell.
Welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines right here on WSRR Radio, nationally local, meaning we play your local bands on a national stage. It is 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday, January 2nd, 2026.
Wow.
Welcome to the new year.
Unbelievable.
We are recording this on New Year's Eve, December 31st at around 12:15. But you guys are listening to it in the new year. How's that, Dom? We're recording, and we're not going to be heard until 2026. Isn't that wild?
Some like Back to the Future Marty McFly type beat, I think.
No, on God, I'm feeling really Doc Brown right now. I'm feeling really, really like that dude saying Great Scott. We're here on Behind Enemy Lines, the first episode of 2026. You guys have made it out of the void between Christmas and New Year's. We're currently sitting in that. I think I've done about 5 hours of actual work in the last week. I keep like trying to be productive, and I go into the office and I sit there for like an hour and a half, and then I'm like, I'm done, and I just leave.
Yeah, the time between Christmas and New Year's, like if you're getting work done, props to you. But for the rest of us, we're just chilling. Luckily, I took some PTO. I've been on a bit of a vacation, so haven't felt as guilty as I have in the past, where I'm just like watching the clock tick. But yeah, I don't know how people expect their employees to work during this phase. I think it should just be a mandatory. Give the people that week off. I think it's the least they can do.
Yeah, I think that should be like just your own built-in PTO should be like from the 23rd of December until January 2nd. Like,
yes,
there should be nothing that happens for those 10 days.
There's 2 weeks during the year that no one should be working. It's this week, between Christmas and New Year's, and it's the week of July 4th. It's like, what's really happening in the middle of summer? Like, it's the dog days of summer. Let's just celebrate our country. Let's enjoy what we've worked for, what we've earned. Give the people that week off. And then after that, like, I think you'd see a lot less people taking random PTO days, people taking fake sick days. You give these people that time off, they have something to look forward to. And you know they aren't going to be getting anything done in the office during that week anyway, so let the people go.
We're just solving the corporate schedule right now. I mean, people are always
basically like Henry Ford 2.0. We're reinventing the work week.
People are always complaining about quiet quitting and people don't want to work these days. It's like, give us 2 weeks off mandatory every year. At this time and this time, and let us, go to the beach, watch some fireworks, eat some hot dogs, and then, at Christmas time, go sledding, eat some cookies, hot cocoa, all the good stuff, the finer things in life,
That's right. And it's always been a push and pull between the employee and the employer. I mean, before Henry Ford, the people were working 7 days a week. Children were working. Well, that's a separate issue. But people were working 7 days a week. But they realize if we give these people off 2 days a week, they're going to work way harder during those 5 days. So it's that push and pull. We got to get to that spot where we're all feeling good. We're still working hard.
Now we're pushing to move down to like a 4-day work week. That's what we should.
That would be great too.
Week. Nothing gets done on Friday anyway. The first half of Monday and the back half of Friday, nothing gets done. So
completely. Let AI take over that.
Yeah.
Let AI take over 9 to noon on Monday and let them take over 1 p.m. to 5 on Fridays. I think everyone wins. It helps the economy. Everybody wins.
It doesn't help the environment.
It's like buying scratch-offs.
The AI is taking all the water and stuff. Why does AI need water, Dom? To cool the computers down? They just splashing water on the computers?
Yeah, from my understanding, that's what it is. They're so hot. The only way to cool it is with water.
They're taking the super soaker and just spraying the motherboard down.
That's what it seems like. I mean, I don't really know much about it. And Lucas and everyone, all the listeners, they know that I've been a big fan of AI,
You're
a big
Mr.
fan of
AI on this
ChatGPT.
show.
However, I do got to say right now, I need to roll back some of my previous statements. I've been a lot less likely to use ChatGPT as of recently, and the biggest thing is using it for things that I know about. Like if it's something I know about, but I just want to maybe like clarify something, I'll ask it about it, and it'll get it wrong. And that's when I knew like maybe I'm relying on this too much. Because if it's getting things wrong that I know about, what is it lying to me about the things that I don't know about? So I'm trying to get back to Google a little bit more, trying to dig in a little deeper. I'm still using it for some things, but as far as information, I'm trying to not use it as much.
I like it. I asked it for some...
Back to my Wikipedia roots.
Yeah, you love Wikipedia. I asked it for some fantasy football advice, like moving forward into the draft of next year. I was like, what's the draft? What's the mock drafts looking like for next year for the rookies? But that was about
Did
it.
they give you anything good?
I was just trying to see who I could get at pick number 6, and I have no clue who to take. It sounds like maybe Carnell Tate, maybe one of the quarterbacks, but I don't love any of them. But this time, the void is really just for sitting back, watching football, eating cookies, drinking hot cocoa, maybe some leftover turkey or ham, whatever you guys do at Christmas dinner. But there's been some good football on. This is really the time of the year where the playoffs have really already started in the NFL.
For sure.
Which is why the NFL is so great. Like people say, like, oh, they should, it's the NFL postseason is not as interesting because there aren't series like there are in basketball or hockey sometimes. But like it's more interesting because the postseason really starts in week 14. People are in these must-win games, and we've seen some good ones for some seeding. We saw the Seahawks beat the Rams, coming back from 16 points. We saw the Rams on Monday night fight back against the Falcons, down 21. They ended up losing that one to the Falcons. We saw Christian McCaffrey and the 49ers going up against DeAndre Swift and the Bears on Sunday night. Shootout. Brock Purdy's got some motion, man. I think I really like Brock Purdy a lot.
He's one of those guys that I wasn't sure about. I mean, he's definitely a good quarterback, but when they gave him that massive contract, I was like, I don't know. And then I saw Mac Jones go in. Earlier this year, and he had a little bit of magic. He was winning games. I was like, maybe it's just a system thing. But this past weekend against the Bears, he did look like a top 5, maybe top 10 quarterback in the league. Specifically, that one play where he was rolling around. Collinsworth compared it to Patrick Mahomes.
Oh,
it was a play
Patrick
you really don't see.
If Patrick
a lot of
Mahomes did that, we'd
make.
all be losing our minds. He was loving it. You gotta love it.
Tirico called him out on it.
Oh yeah,
it was a really good play. Impressive game from both of these teams. 49ers look like they're going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC, which is really surprising considering all the injuries that they faced early in the season.
Don't they have to beat the Seahawks this weekend? Because the Seahawks have won 13 games, I think, right?
Yeah. Week 18 is going to be the division, but I'm just going to say I think the 49ers are hot right now. They're rolling. The Seahawks are a great team. I think they have a better defense, but overall I think the 49ers are a better team. But they're going to have home games, both of these teams, which is huge in the playoffs.
You mentioned the Seahawks, too. What's interesting about the Seahawks, Sam Darnold is now one of only 4 quarterbacks to win 13 games in back-to-back seasons. He's the only quarterback to do it with 2 different teams. The other 3 quarterbacks who have won 13 games in back-to-back seasons, Aaron Rodgers, your boy, we can get to talk about him soon, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning. That's elite company for Darney.
Yeah, that's no joke. Those are like the modern day gods of the NFL. To be in that company,
that's the Mount Rushmore of NFL quarterbacks, right? Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Sam Darnold.
Throw either, I was gonna say Breeze or Roethlisberger, but I guess Darnold has surpassed both of them. It seems like with this back-to-back seasons, he's turned his career around. It's really impressive, beating his former team this week in a pretty convincing fashion, 27-10. Panthers and the Bucks, who wants to win that division? We're going to have to wait until week 18 to find out. They've both been stinking it up recently. But yeah, Darnold, he is the man. He was a guy who I was interested in the Steelers going after. I was interested in Daniel Jones. There were a lot of good quarterbacks who were written off coming in this season, and they've played really well. The Colts, on the other hand, briefly touched on them. Is it the biggest fall off of all time from a team, like from the midpoint in the season to the end? I can't think of a team that's gone, what were they, 8-1 and then missed the playoffs?
I've got one. Well, they didn't. This team didn't miss the playoffs, but how about when the Steelers went 11-0 with Ben Roethlisberger, and then they lost 5 of their last 6 or something like that, and got bounced first round. That was a pretty bad fall off, but that one happened a little bit later.
Made the
and
playoffs.
Again, they still made the playoffs. Of course, Daniel Jones getting hurt was huge. I mean, he was playing. I mean, he was an MVP caliber guy there for a while. He was in all the MVP talks. He gets hurt. They bring in 44-year-old Phil. It sounds like it's kind of unlikely that Phil starts in week 18 here. So we may have, for the second time in his career, seen the last of him. We'll see if they bring him back. I don't. People were hyping him up, and they're like, "Man, he's playing great." And like, yeah, he's thrown a touchdown in I think every game that he's played, but like, he's not playing great. I don't know. I don't love that people are hyping him up like that. They're like, he's playing awesome. It's like, yeah, for a 44-year-old who hasn't played in 4 years, he's playing awesome. But like, he was 17 for 30 with like 150 yards, like, and a touchdown and a pick. Like, that's not awesome. I'm sorry.
It's not something you want on your team. It's cool to watch another team have, but nobody wants that because you know you're never going to win a game. He didn't look good out there. The numbers weren't awful, and he's clearly smart. He clearly can still read defenses, but the athleticism is gone.
The athleticism, the arm talent is gone. Like, he's just not – it's a young man's game, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Speaking of someone that might be gone, what's going on with Rodgers here? 42 years old. Goes at Denzel Ward 3 times in a row at the end of this Steelers-Browns game. They lose now. There's a playoff for the divisional title against the Ravens in Week 18. I'm ready for you to put your tinfoil hat on because Dom had all these conspiracy theories after this game, and all the Steelers fans were putting on Twitter and TikTok, or excuse me, X and TikTok, and saying like, this game was rigged. The NFL scriptwriters are licking their chops right now. This is exactly what they wanted. They don't give up a sack to Myles Garrett. He doesn't get the record, and they lose by 7 points in Cleveland to Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah. So there's a few things here. Right after the game, I said 2 things to Lucas. I said, 1, the NFL is rigged. The second thing I said was that Shedeur Sanders is the worst quarterback in the NFL. One of those things wasn't true, and it's that the NFL is rigged. Shedeur Sanders is the worst quarterback in the league.
No, he's not worse than Dylan Gabriel. I'm sorry, he's not. You love Dylan Gabriel because he's a short guy, but he's...
I thought Gabriel threw the ball a lot better than Shedeur when I saw him that one other time.
You're not watching.
I might be wrong, but I don't think the NFL is rigged. The Steelers played a horrible game. Now, do I think that the NFL wanted Week 18 to happen for the division? Yeah. I mean, it gives everyone more money. It gets more eyes on the product. It gets people watching Sunday Night Football on the East Coast until midnight. So it's big. It means something for the NFL. Were there questionable calls? Yes, but there were some on both sides, and I don't think it necessarily impacted the final score of the game. The Steelers' game plan in this one just never gave them a chance. The offense played scared, and like you mentioned they throw it to Marquez Valdez-Scantling 3 times in a row on the final plays of the game. And the first 2 times they threw it to him, he didn't even run the right route. So I don't want to see Marquez Valdez-Scantling on this field as a Pittsburgh Steeler ever again. There's a reason he was on his couch until like week 12 of the NFL season. He's not a good receiver in the NFL. Even if you hit him, he drops it. So I'm done talking about that guy. He stinks. I never want to see him. Now you can talk about Roman Wilson, the guy who finally gets his chance to step up. DK Metcalf is out. Calvin Austin's out. Who's going to step up? Oh, I guess it's going to be Adam Thielen and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Where's the guy that we drafted in the 3rd round 2 years ago?
Well, hey, don't forget about Scotty Miller, too. They were tossing up go balls to Scotty Miller.
And I got to be honest, Scotty Miller was probably the best receiver of of the Steelers this past
He
weekend.
probably
Like,
is
he
their wide
made some
receiver
plays.
one right now. I mean, with DK out and Calvin Austin out, and now it looks like Washington's going to miss Week 18 as well.
He's out for the season. He broke his arm.
Yeah. So, that is
So-
the season unless they win, but still.
Yes. And DK also out for Week 18. He punched a fan in the face. We haven't talked about in this show yet. Just a really dumb move on his part. You can't acknowledge these people no matter how big of a jerk they are. And he's suspended for 2 games. He tries to appeal. They upheld the 2 games. And what that means is that it basically voids out $40 million of his contract that was guaranteed because
Wow.
he acted up. But the Steelers, being a classy organization, they decided to not wipe that out. They're going to still pay him what he was guaranteed. I'm like, why are we already saying this when we haven't clinched the playoffs yet? If we miss the playoffs, a huge reason why is because he punched a fan in the face. If we had him on the field this past weekend, I'm not saying they win, but the offense would have looked a lot different.
Yeah,
the go balls where you just throw it up is way different.
He's the best player on their offense. I mean, other than maybe Jalen Warren, but like I think he's the best skill position player they have. And it's pretty clear. I mean, and of course, Calvin Austin going out, he's probably their second best receiver this season. I mean, you're throwing to Adam Thielen, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and Scotty Miller. Like this, you're not setting your team up for success. And it's one thing if a guy's out because they're hurt, but he basically sat himself down on the bench because he was an idiot in Detroit and went over and hit a fan. Like how, I don't know, like that just seems to be one of the all-time boneheaded moves you can do. Like, I don't care what the guy said.
Bad.
Like, you're making $40 million. Like, come on, put yourself in perspective here.
I'd love to ask like the Steelers front office. So why did we get rid of George Pickens again? Was it because he punched a fan in the stands, or was it because he just had a bad attitude? Like, I mean, like, what's worse here? Like, do we want 2 clowns who can ball, or do we want 1 clown who can ball and a bunch of other bums who can't play a receiver position?
Yeah, that looks like a really bad move right now at this point. Of course, hindsight's 2020. At the time, you weren't too upset about seeing Pickens go because you said it was never going to work with him in Pittsburgh. And who knows? I mean, if he stays, maybe they're both suspended right now. Maybe instead of punching a fan, those two are punching each other and they have broken jaws in the locker room. So no one knows.
Probably would have been, it would have been Malice in the Palace in Detroit last week.
Yeah.
Number 2.
They would have went right up into the stands just like they did at Little Caesars or whatever what was it called then? You go ahead.
Yeah, the Palace. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, the Steelers losing in Cleveland once again. I think they're 6-1-1 in their last 7 games in Cleveland or something like that. Maybe it was 6-2-1.
I think it's a lot. Or you're saying the Browns are?
No, yeah. Sorry, the Browns are 6-2-1 or 6-1-1. I forget what exactly it was, but like the last 4 Browns quarterbacks to win now have been Shedeur Sanders, Jameis Winston, Dorian Thompson Robinson, and Jacoby Brissett. In the last 4 seasons, the Browns have beaten the Steelers at home every year. And it's crazy because the Steelers have obviously been a better team all of those years.
Yeah,
Except
is
for
shocking.
maybe the Jacoby Brissett year, actually, because that was Kenny Pickett. That was like his rookie year. And maybe not then, but
they were still winning games. But I saw something that said, like, Tomlin has the weirdest stats of all time. And, like, you can just bet on these weird stats. It's like, well, Tomlin's lost to... like the last 6 games they've played teams that are 8 games below 500, they've lost. Like, who has that stat in the world? But for some reason, he always loses to him. So bet on it.
Crazy.
He's won like 22 straight home Monday night football games. It's like, what other coaches in the world have these like trends that just never break?
You also
can
had
just follow this guy
Thursday
to a T.
night stat earlier in the year when they were playing the Bengals, and it was like Joe Flacco's second start with the Bengals, and I was like, you got to throw $1,000 on the Steelers money line this game. Like, there's no way they're going to lose on Thursday night. Like, this is a game they should win. And you were like, well, there's a stat that Tomlin loses on Thursday night all the time, and then sure enough, they did. Like, you're right.
There's always
His
a stat
trends are
with
so
that guy.
predictable.
Yeah, so you can just you could probably be a millionaire if you just followed the Tomlin trends. That's not gambling advice.
Are they 9-7 right now? They got their 9 wins, right?
They got their 9 wins. They're sitting pretty with it. And win or lose, they got the goal was accomplished. The standard was the standard. It was met. And I don't know. I don't know. I go back and forth with this team. You see it every single week with me. I don't think the AFC is very good, but it's hard to imagine them winning a wild card game. So even if they make the playoffs.
Is it going to take Tomlin having a losing season? Our last 30 seconds of this segment. Is it going to take him having a losing season to get fired? How many more 9-8 seasons can he have before they're like, we need to win in the postseason?
I think he'd go until he retires. It's like he's basically like a Supreme Court justice at this point. He chooses when he wants to walk.
Wow, really? He has total immunity in Pittsburgh. You've heard it here first from Dom Ferro. We'll see what happens in his future, and we'll see what happens the rest of this show. Stick with us through the break right here on Behind Enemy Lines.
Hi, this is Melissa.
And hey, it's Matt.
Coming at you from Synergy Music Studio.
We are a recording and production studio located on the south side near Chicago.
Check us out online at synergymusicstudio.com. We offer recording, mixing, and mastering.
And follow us on Instagram at Synergy Music Studio. Rock hard.
If LimeWire taught us anything, your digital music is free and open to piracy, and even manipulation when it comes to digital distribution. So why settle for a bunch of ones and zeros floating around on the internet? Make your release something special with Hellbender Vinyl. Hellbender is one of America's most trusted custom vinyl record pressing plants and works with local artists to get their next release pressed exactly to their liking. So check out Pittsburgh's first and only custom vinyl pressing plant today by visiting hellbendervinyl.com to get started. And don't forget, all customers at Hellbender Vinyl get 5 free test presses at no additional charge. Hellbent on quality, hellbent on service, hellbendervinyl.com.
Welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines right here on WSRR Radio, brought to you by our proud partners at GenericClothes.com. Nobody cares about the details. Get to the point at GenericClothes.com. Don't sell out to big brand clothing empires and their prices. Make a statement at their expense with GenericClothes.com. Dom, we are recording on New Year's Eve tonight. The Buckeyes play against the Miami Hurricanes, a rematch of, I think it was the 2001 Fiesta Bowl, where Maurice Claret and the Buckeyes beat Miami for the national championship. This one is a playoff game. I think it's the Cotton Bowl or something like that. Should be an interesting one. This obviously comes out after these games are played, and then tomorrow we have the remaining 3 playoff games. But Dom, in the break here, we talked quickly a little bit about some of these bowl games. Of course, the playoff kind of ruining these bowl games and what they used to stand for, one last chance to play with your team and go home with something. You got the swag bag. In the 2000s, like, the bowl games were just so much fun, and they did mean something. And now that has kind of gone by the wayside. Mm-hmm. But there are still some bowl games out there, and if you watch them, they're still pretty fun. Like, I was sitting at my parents' house during that void, kind of doing nothing. I turned on Hawaii versus Cal. I think it might have even been on Christmas. And, like, Hawaii came back from a 21-point deficit. Like, it was a fun game. You got to watch these. Like, I know people say they don't matter at all, but, like, if you actually watch them, some of them are pretty fun. And you get to see some of these mid-major schools, these group of 5 teams going up against Power 5 teams and Power 4 teams, whatever now. And it is fun. But it has lost all meaning. And I think that a big reason for it is because of what Notre Dame did this year. I think that was really kind of like the nail in the coffin, to be like, we're going to take our ball and go home and whine about it because we're Notre Dame and we think that everything should be handed to us. And I think that's really hurting bowl season more than anything else.
Yeah, I do think that definitely hurts it. My biggest thing that I don't like about the bowl games now is that they're just not unique. Like, where's like you got the Pop-Tart Bowl, but after that, it's just like it's become not as fun. I saw Master Chief was.
I was about to say, don't talk down on the Pop-Tart Bowl. They're some of them are very unique. The Cheez-It Bowl, they've tried to do some fun stuff. They really tried to copy off the Pop-Tart Bowl last year. I don't know what they're doing this year, but they kind of tried to do a similar thing.
You can't steal. It needs to be unique. It needs to be something original. Did you see the one where Master Chief from Halo handed the trophy?
Yeah, that was good.
Nice.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a good
one. They
one.
pulled up in a warthog.
We need that for every single bowl game. We need it.
There was the Bush's Baked Bean Bowl.
Yeah.
I forget whose bowl that was, but they gave him a big trophy that had a bowl of beans in it. That was fun.
Still
there was the Idaho Potato Bowl.
What about the Duke's Mayo Bowl?
They poured fries on the coach.
They still have the Duke's Mayo Bowl?
Yeah, they got the Mayo Bowl. I don't know. That might have already been played. I don't know about that one.
We need to make a bigger deal about these.
There were some fun ones. I was watching the Potato Bowl.
We need to make a bigger deal of these as a country.
Yeah, I think it's more the coverage than anything. I do think that's part of it too, is that like ESPN now, which again, I think we've talked about this a multitude of times on this show, but like this is another thing that ESPN is lacking in. Like you turned on SportsCenter when we were growing up, and like they would just show you any sports that were happening. It was an hour worth of highlights from sports. There's too much talking now, and like they're talking about the biggest stuff. Like they're going to talk about the Ohio State Miami game and the playoff race for the NFL and maybe Christmas Day in the NBA for way long, like for 25 minutes, and then they're going to show the Duke's Mayo Bowl highlights for 2 seconds, and like they think that people don't care, but like that's really what I would rather see. I would rather turn on SportsCenter to watch that than hear idiots talk about how good they think Sam Darnold is or whoever.
Well, highlights is one thing, but like the promotion of the bowl games is another. Like ESPN isn't going to promote a bowl game that isn't on their air, unfortunately. But for most of us, they don't. Like I'm not looking every day to see what bowls are on. I want to see like ESPN being like, all right, today here's all the bowls that we have. Here's why you should be watching. Like, give me what's interesting from each one, because I'm not following every single one of these teams. But ESPN isn't going to be like, go watch this on CBS, and maybe this one on ESPN isn't going to be as good. So you just have no clue really what's happening unless you're a college football sicko. And
a lot of them are on ESPN.
That's true.
And that's the thing that upsets me too, is like their social media team isn't like, oh, hey, everyone gear up. Tomorrow is the Idaho Potato Bowl. Like, and again, like how much traction is that really going to get? Like, I don't know, but like you might as well throw it out there. And I don't know. I think they're doing a poor job. And again, I would like to at least see the breakdown or the highlights from the game afterwards, even if I didn't watch it live,
Do you think that Twitter has become less sports focused in the last few years?
I don't use Twitter as much anymore, but I do think that that's part of it, or at least that is a little bit. I think Twitter has moved more politically and memes and stuff like that, and AI slop, in all honesty, and moved away from, because like people always talk about how great NBA Twitter was and NFL Twitter and like all this stuff, and like now it's, maybe I'm just not consuming it as much, but it doesn't seem like there's as much discourse and fun conversations and jokes being made about it.
Well, that's a good point. Like it's just the people who are talking about it, actually having conversations, they're not really the type of people that were talking about it before. Like now it's just people with like anime profile pictures who are just saying the most vile stuff possible just to get a reaction. Those are the things that you see online. It's just like, wow, I can't believe this person said this about this rival school or whatever. There's less like actual like meaning behind the conversations. Like I remember back in the day, like all I'd see on Twitter would be sports stuff because it's the stuff that I'd focus on. And now it doesn't even matter like what I interact with. All I get is the same tweets that everyone else is seeing. It's just become like TikTok. It's an algorithm. They push what they want you to see. And my Twitter used to just be Steelers. Like I could scroll, it'd all be Steelers, Pirates, whatever. And now it's like I probably would have to scroll like multiple pages just to find any Steelers. Yeah, I have to look up Steelers just to find something. The first NFL thing I see on my Twitter is about a Patriots defensive tackle who's facing a domestic assault charge. Like that has nothing to do with what I care about. It's just getting people to comment. It's getting people to get angry, fired up. The only thing I've seen about the NFL today on Twitter has been about the Stephon Diggs stuff. It's all speculation. There's no like what's at stake this weekend in the NFL? Who needs to win? Like there's no more like playoff picture. I just don't see that stuff anymore.
All right, my first thing that I pulled up on Twitter was Reddit College Football posted something about TCU against USC in OT.
Okay.
TCU beat USC in a bowl game. I don't even know what bowl this is. The Valero Alamo Bowl. I like hearing that.
That seemed like a good one last night.
And then the next thing is something about Tyson Campbell for the Browns. Then the thing after that is something about Myles Garrett and Rashawn Gary trying to do a Myles Garrett type pass rush move. I think I'm all sports actually on Twitter now that I'm looking at it.
That's good.
Oh, and then now there's just a picture of Aaron Hernandez with a gun.
Yeah, that sounds like
I'm glad that's on my.
Sounds like modern NFL Twitter.
It says Stephon Diggs 1 week before the playoffs starts, and it's just Aaron Hernandez taking a mirror selfie holding up a gun.
When I knew I had become unk and this sports Twitter had passed me by was when I saw during the Backyard Brawl week, I saw a West Virginia fan post like a video of like Microsoft like flight simulator, and they flew a plane into the Cathedral of Learning. I was like, this is insane. This is way too much for me now.
I did see that.
I'm out of the posting game. I'll just observe from here on out because this game has passed me by. There's some sickos on Twitter.
Yeah, it's a little too outlandish. We're recording this on a Wednesday. It's New Year's Eve, like I said. Tomorrow is Thursday. It's New Year's Day. It's a nationally celebrated holiday. We talked a little bit about like the void of no one doing anything. Is this the best way for Christmas to fall this year? The fact that it was like on a Thursday? Because I feel like with the way that everything works, like no one's going to do work on Christmas Eve on Wednesday,
True.
Obviously. No one's going to work on Christmas on Thursday. You're not going to work the day after Christmas on Friday. Then it's the weekend. Then you got Monday and Tuesday this week. You know, people faked doing a little bit of work. Wednesday this week is New Year's Eve. I'm sure there were some people in the office today, maybe until like 1 o'clock, but then they got to go home and get ready for their parties. No one's doing anything on New Year's. And then no one, like the second this year is on a Friday, which is when everyone's listening to this. No one, like I mentioned, no one gets work done on a Friday anyways. Like there was probably 2 days in the last 10 days that people actually were like focused and trying to do work, right?
Yeah.
Is there any better way for it to fall?
I don't know.
I don't think
I was
there
thinking
is.
like maybe
you
a
don't
day
want it on
ahead.
a weekend because then you want it on Wednesdays.
Having like New Year's Eve being Thursday, New Year's Day being Friday. So then like no one's being forced to go into the office. Like I know some people who had to work that Friday after Christmas. It's like what's the point? It's like I think that
people were showing up drunk. Let's be honest.
Friday Christmas, I think that would be perfect. But I mean, if you can finesse,
I don't want a Friday Christmas though. Friday's already good enough.
That's true. I mean, yeah, it's
got to fall in the middle of the week the way
if you have the ability to finesse, it's
great.
definitely the best way. If you can, act like you're busy or work from home on that Friday, then yeah, you're in business.
Is there anything better than watching cable television at your parents' house when you go home for the holidays?
You know what? I was thinking that because specifically Sunday Night Football this past weekend, the sound from the TV is just different. Like the sound from my television in my apartment, it's too clean. The picture is too clean. Watching it on this,
you got to get your parents. You have to have your parents like shitty speakers. Yeah. That's what you want.
Well, it's not even a speaker. It's just like this crappy like Vizio TV from like 15 years ago.
Hell yeah.
And it was easy to fall asleep to that compared to in my apartment.
Oh, I bet.
The lights were down low.
You get some Bart Simpson on there?
No.
Our man Bart Simpson playing some 2000s
no.
games or just falling asleep just a Sunday
night?
No,
it was that Bears and 49ers game. And even though it wasn't Al Michaels, it's still Tirico he did his job. He's give me a lullaby to fall asleep to. That was a great game.
Tirico's spectacular. I think he's great. So now we can talk quickly about the NFL postseason. It looks like the Patriots have the AFC East locked up. The Bills are going to be in the wild card position. The AFC North is still up in the air. The AFC South, the Jaguars and Texans, I believe that they play for the division title in Week 18 as well. AFC West, the Broncos have won it. The Chargers are going to be in the wild card.
I think the Broncos actually will get the 1 seed unless they lose to the Chargers and the Patriots win versus the Dolphins. So the Broncos win versus the Chargers in Week 18, they will get the 1 seed in the AFC. But yeah, everything else sounded spot on.
You mentioned that the AFC is a little weak in your opinion this year. Who do you like from the AFC to go all the way? I mean, I don't think that the Jaguars or the Texans, I feel like both of them have been pretty hot in the back half of the year, but whoever wins that division, I don't think either of them really have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. I like the Patriots, but again, we've talked about, are they a little bit fraudulent? Same thing with the Broncos. They've won a lot of tight games against teams that look like that the Broncos have looked like coming into it that they should blow out, that they're a lot better than. Mm-hmm. Is there anyone in the AFC that you like?
Yeah, it's the 6 and the 7 seeds potentially, the Chargers and the Bills. Those seem like the best teams by far. Yeah, a nice little 6-7 for the folks.
You had to hit it. You had to hit that, didn't you?
Not intentional.
You had to hit one last one in 2025, huh?
But I think this Week 18 game, Chargers versus Broncos, this is going to be a true tell for if the Chargers are a playoff team, because it's a game that they need to win. Actually, it's not. They've locked in the wild card spot.
I was going to say they're already in the wild card spot. They can't win the division. But it's kind of a meaningless game for them.
They could move up to the 5 seed, which would give them the Ravens or the Steelers, which I think is the preferable matchup for all the teams in the AFC, unfortunately. So yeah. I think they're going to be trying to win. It's not like they're going to be sitting starters in this game.
Yeah, they have a reason to play, and the Broncos don't. Like you said, I mean, they can get that 1 seed, but will they sit Bo Nix? Like, are they going to play everyone?
I think so.
I don't know about that.
I mean, getting that 1 seed, to have the playoffs run through Denver, I think that's big.
They do it. There is the bye, of course. I forgot about, that they're the only team that'll get a bye is the 1 seed now. So that's really big. But can the bye come back to bite you? I don't know. I think that My favorites out of the AFC are obviously the Bills. If you have Josh Allen, it's hard to count him out. They're going to be on the road the entire postseason, though, which is tough. I like the Patriots a lot. Drake May just looks so good. 5 touchdowns last week. Helped me to a fantasy championship.
Congrats. That's huge.
I gotta love up on Drake May for that. Give him a little shout out. But yeah, I mean, I really think that there's 3 teams in this division that can win it. I think it's the Patriots, the Bills, or the Broncos. I think the Ravens have just been too upsetting this year. Lamar's been in and out. I think he's going to be back for this game, but
you said they're making it.
On Sunday, they were saying he's kind of 50-50%.
They ain't making the playoffs.
Well, yeah, I'm saying if they make it, I think they have a better chance, but I don't think that either of them have a great chance to win a game in the playoffs, in all honesty, the Steelers or the Ravens.
Yeah.
Maybe with DK Metcalf coming back, but
there's a chance.
After 2 weeks of being out, it'll be a rocky road. But I really think that those are really the only 3 teams that can make noise in the playoffs. Now, in the NFC, on the other side, I feel like this is where things are really going to get interesting this year, because you got the Seahawks and the Niners who are playing for the 1 seed in the NFC West. You got the Rams, who Matt Stafford has not looked as good in the last couple of weeks. He may have thrown away his MVP chance because in Week 17 he had 3 picks and Drake May had 5 touchdowns. So that, the MVP race will be interesting, but also that, their race as a team. We'll see if he can get it back on track, because I think they're a really dangerous team as a wild card team. And again, the 49ers and Seahawks have both looked really, really good this year, obviously. Seahawks have 13 wins. 49ers currently 12-4. So we'll see what happens, who wins that division. The Bears and the Packers are both going to make it in out of the NFC North. The Bears have won the division. The Packers are 9-6-1. They're going to be a wild card team. Now, Jordan Love, they've lost their last 3, which is interesting. But they've already locked up that playoff spot. Jordan Love's been hurt, but Malik Willis has come in. Looked all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they got a chance to maybe win a game, even if Malik Willis is starting. And then the Eagles have won the division in the NFC East. Who's your favorite team out of the NFC? I know you've been high on the Chicago Bears this
Super
year.
high on the Bears, but like if I had a gun to my head and I had to pick one team, it's going to be the Eagles. I mean, that defense has looked amazing. They still have a chance at that number 2 seed if they win on Sunday and the Lions beat or tie the Bears. So getting up to that 2 seed, I think, would be big. If they have a home game versus the Bears, I believe that they played each other in Philadelphia already, where the Eagles lost. But going up against them a second time, I do feel good that the Eagles defense could lock them in. They've looked different recently. Offense still a little shaky, but overall, I think that's going to be a really tough team to beat in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're really good. They've won their last 3. They're getting back on track a little bit here.
And I'm an Eagles hater. Like, I would never give the Eagles
it takes
anything,
a lot for you to say
but
that.
I think they're the best.
I think the NFC South is going to be the same thing as the AFC South, where whoever wins that division, congratulations, but I don't think that they're going to win any games. It's either the Panthers or the Buccaneers now.
If the Buccaneers can find that magic they had in the first 4 weeks of the season, they could shock some people.
Yeah, it's crazy because, again, going back to that MVP conversation, Baker was in there for sure. I mean, he was one of the guys. I love the Seahawks a lot this year. JSN's been awesome. Kenneth Walker's a beast. I don't know if I trust Darnold yet in the postseason. Especially like last year, again, he won 13 games with the Vikings, a very similar team, had a really good defense, had a really, really good receiver to throw it to. They had decent running backs, but I think the Seahawks are better this year, but they're kind of the one team that could be a division winner that I'm still kind of worried about. We can continue this conversation in our last segment here on Behind Enemy Lines, but stick with us through the break so that we can talk more about these NFL playoffs heading into Week 18 right here on WSRR Radio.
What's the difference between the shirt you're currently wearing and the one that I am? Well, both do their job of concealing us from the outside world and social boundaries. But one little black swoosh makes yours cost nearly double. That red rectangle may not change how warm you are, but it certainly changes the price tag. The truth is, nobody cares about the details. Get to the point with GenericClothes.com. Have a laugh at the big brand clothing company's expense with shirts that simply say sports team, political statement, music band, and more. A shirt for any occasion and the perfect gift. GenericClothes.com.
Welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines right here on WSRR Radio. It has been a spectacular holiday season, and if you're in the spirit of giving, like a lot of people are in the holiday season, get your last gift in here. Maybe start your 2026 off on a good note. Go to WSRRradio.com. You guys can donate, help keep us on the air, help keep us doing what we do here on WSRR Radio, local and independent radio, playing it nationally local, meaning we play your local bands on a national stage, coast to coast. And we survive a lot by our our advertisers helping us out, but also our listeners helping us out, as we are an independent radio station. So again, WSRRradio.com. You can help us out there. You can also get some really good merch, so check out the website. I think we've updated it recently. We've got some new bios for everyone. Check us out on there as well. Top-notch stuff there. But again, going into Week 18 here for the NFL season, ramping up to the playoffs where things are pretty much set here. Dom, this is your chance. You get to talk about your Bears, even though in the break, you kind of said you're not sure if they can win it this year. Tell me what tell the people what you just told me in the break about your boy 18.
I said that. I said a few things about 18 specifically. I said that he's a lock to win an MVP within the next 3 years.
Oh, I don't know about that.
And about the Bears as a team, I said they're going to win a Super Bowl, maybe even 2 of them within the next 5 years.
Oh my, they're
going to win 2 within the next.
Bud.
They're going to win 2 within the next 10 years.
But you don't think one of them this year?
It's a great team. It's going to be very difficult. I think they're still young. I think it's still a a foundation that's being built. Ben Johnson, if he walked in here with a second-year quarterback, first year running this team with a defense that is pretty average to below average, that would be shocking. I don't think they've proved enough this year. I think they're still figuring things out. But, you've had 18 weeks going into playoffs. You got the number 2 seed. You're going to have a home game or two. Anything can happen. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a run. It gives me the Joe Burrow Bengals vibes from 2021. It just seems like a team that's hot. And, sometimes you don't need the history to back it. You just know that this is a good team and they're beating good teams. They're competitive with great teams. Why not the Bears?
I don't know.
And I think with them being so young, with this foundation being so strong, I think that an MVP is likely for Caleb Williams. I think a Super Bowl is almost certain for them within the next 10 years.
I think he's good. I think Caleb Williams is really good. I think that this team's really good. I think they could make some noise, but I don't think this is their year to win a Super Bowl. And I think it's really tough to back up seasons like this. I honestly think if they don't win it this year, which I think they could, but I wouldn't put my money on them. If they don't win it this year, I think it's going to be tough to get back. Now, Ben Johnson settling in will be huge, and we'll see how Caleb continues to work in that system. Right now, Caleb Williams is a touch too inconsistent for me, especially for this playoff run.
A little bit.
I almost called him Matthew McConaughey. Chris Collinsworth, they kind of have a similar vibe to me. I don't know why. Chris Collinsworth was flaming Caleb Williams a little bit on Sunday night for the fact that he's just a little too inconsistent overall. Like, he'll hit these amazing throws over the top where his feet aren't set, or, he's square to the guy he's throwing and his mechanics aren't great. And it's just an amazing throw and it's a touchdown. And then there's other times he's just missing wide open guys. And I think you saw it against the Niners on that Sunday night game where you can be really, really good in this league and win, 11 games like they have. But at the end, and they have a really strong running game as well with DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai that they really like. Their defense, like you said, is all right. But at this time of the year, what wins games isn't just making those amazing throws, but it's consistent quarterback play. And I don't think that in the playoffs, especially in the NFC, that is like you said, deeper than the AFC, you can't miss some of these throws that he's missed because you might not get these chances again. Like, you look at these defenses, the Seahawks defense, really good this year. The Niners defense, the Rams defense has been all right. The NFC South, even the Panthers defense has been really good this season. The Packers with, Micah Parsons, and then you mentioned the Eagles. The first thing you said about the Eagles was that how good their defenses look this year. I don't think that he's got to work on that moving forward, is just purely his consistency of hitting open guys. Because again, like, he can make these highlight plays where he's off kilter and off platform and rolling to his left, throwing back like he's Derek Jeter. But sometimes the throws that he misses are just too glaring, and they're really going to come to hurt him here in the postseason.
Yeah, well, I really, really would have agreed with you from weeks 1 through 12. But over the last 5 weeks, his accuracy has gotten a lot better, especially on the deep ball. Like, he hasn't missed a deep ball, it seems like, in the last 5 weeks.
He missed one.
And the schedule.
I know exactly one. Sorry, not to cut you off really quickly. He had one.
No, you're good.
I forget who they played the week before. I was watching the game, and it was a play action, and he was rolling to his left. He hit the tight end, I think it was Loveland, over the top perfectly. He made the exact same throw the next game. I think it was the same play, and he underthrew it, and it was a pick to seal the game. I think it might have been against the Packers or someone. But so he's missed one, but go on. Sorry. I know that one was just sticking in my head. And again, it goes back to that inconsistency.
Yeah. But it does seem like he throws dots in the big moments. Like, it seems like when the pressure's on, it seems like, maybe 7 times out of 10 he hits it, which is really good for a quarterback. Like, that's above average. Like, most guys aren't hitting the deep shot probably more than 50% of the time. And I think in the last 5 weeks, the schedule has been really tough. You had going back 6 weeks, you have the Steelers, but then after that, you have the Eagles, Packers, Browns, really tough defense. They put up 31 on them. You had the Packers again, and then this week against the 49ers. He's been playing his best ball of his NFL career. I know it's still so early on, but I think the improvement has been clear. I think the accuracy has gotten better. I do agree that there is still some inconsistency, but I think it's getting better.
Yeah, I think he's got a chance, and I think this team will really go to by the run game because, like I said, they have a strong run game with DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monongai, and if they can do that and take a huge load off of Caleb Williams' shoulders and maybe not make him have to make every single throw, I think that'll be huge too for him and for this team.
Yeah,
but yeah.
And the young guys on this team, the rookies, Luther Burden, he's been getting more involved. He's been looking great. Colson Loveland, he's been looking better every week. So I think it's a young team.
Rookie as well, right?
He's got weapons. Yeah. It's a good squad overall. The defense, though, that's why I can't give them. That's why I'm not so sure that they'll win a Super Bowl.
They need to beef up that D for you?
A little bit. This game against the 49ers was, they kind of got exposed on the defensive side.
Yeah, a little bit. I think so. I think that they had to play the Packers 2 times in 3 weeks too. That was really tough. They split with them. That overtime throw to DJ Moore was absolutely huge for me in my fantasy playoffs. DJ Moore made a huge play there and put us above. That week too, in that last in my first playoff game, we had 2 different overtime games that ended with my receivers scoring touchdowns. Jackson Smith and Jigba on Thursday night, and then DJ Moore on, I think it was Saturday night. So huge boost for us. Big playoff win. I got to give it up to my fantasy team, Manu Ginobili. We've been knocking on the door. We've made the playoffs for 4 years, all 4 years of this Dynasty League. We've made the championship 3 or 4 years, and we finally got the ring. I kind of hit I should have hit I forgot. I actually meant to send this in our group message, but I was going to hit the LeBron when he won his first one in Miami. It's about damn time. And I forgot to. I don't know if it's too late to send it now, but
I think you should do the Tomlin blowing a kiss.
Blow the kiss? Oh,
see you, boys.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I can support.
You never seen Tomlin do that?
Yeah, but
after he whoops the Ravens, see you, boys.
I don't love it. 9-8.
Good luck next time.
I'm not a coach who's satisfied with 9-8. I'm sorry, Dom. But this has been Behind Enemy Lines. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see what happens this weekend to Dom's Steelers against the Ravens if they can make the playoffs. Is it going to be Aaron Rodgers' last game? A lot to watch this weekend. Everyone, a late Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's from us at Behind Enemy Lines and WSRR Radio.
The preceding program was a sponsored production. The views, claims, and ideas expressed may not represent those of WSRR Radio.